Voiceover is not a party. I hate to be the one to break the bad news to you. It's not a party. It is fun a lot of the time, but you have to understand voiceover is a business. And if you're not mentally prepared to grow a business, because sometimes things go great in a business, sometimes things are gangbusters. It's like you can't imagine doing anything else. There are other times when you really got to dig in and get your fingernails dirty and do the work, the grind of business. And that's what makes it at the end so incredibly rewarding. I can't imagine doing anything else, but it's not always a party. Next, AI is not taking over voiceover. You've probably heard, oh my gosh, now's a terrible time. There's always, in a lot of people's minds, it's always a bad time to do anything. AI has become another reason for those who are looking for reasons not to get involved in voiceover. And I can understand why they might think that, especially if they're just looking casually from the outside. AI has made a dent in voiceover. I would be lying to you if I said that it has not had any impact. There's some new data that has recently come out that is really starting to open the lid on the can to this whole thing so we can see where this is going. And that data is showing us that AI voices do not hit the brain the same way that real voices do. In other words, AI does not connect on a personal and emotional level like real human beings do. Clients are understanding this. And that's why, you will see AI being used for those who, A, have zero budgets to spend but want a voice, or have extremely low budgets to spend, or a lot of the internal corporate stuff. I've got a client, for instance, I've got a great client who I've had for years that once a month we get together. It's a $400 session, 1 hour, $400. And I record some news for that particular industry to be distributed through that industry. So it's internal stuff, it's informational in nature. But this particular client also has things that he wants to use for his employees that aren't promotional in nature, they're not motivational in nature, they're strictly just some facts that they need to know on a regular basis, for which he wants to use AI, and he actually he uses my voice as the AI to do that. So there are some case study uses for AI, but it's not going to be the sweeping takeover that many predicted it would be. Now, where we go in the future, who knows? But again, remember, the data is showing that AI does not hit the brain and does not connect with other humans the same way that a real voice does, a human voice, that is. Here's the other piece of advice you might want to be aware of that you're going to hear a lot, and that is determine your niche first. Figure out your sound before you pursue a voiceover career. I think that's the worst advice you could possibly get, because voiceover is a journey of discovery. There's no way you can know. You don't know what that's going to be when you first get started. I had my idea of what I wanted to do. What I ended up doing was completely different. It's kind of like going to college. How many people actually graduate with the degree that they started in the area that they started in? Not all that many, and fewer still follow that as a career after school, because it's all discovery. It's all valuable, and it's all learning. But I'm still trying new things, and I'm discovering different things about my voice and what I can do and what I'm not so good at, what people like me for, what people tend not to hire me for. So don't get caught up in that, because that's a losing game. You just jump in, you start doing everything you can, and you learn and you develop from there.